It's about that time, baby, baby. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Here we go.
The Sinclair Show is on.
It is on.
Run it to your friends, come on.
Come on, come
Don't miss
on.
a moment of the show tonight. Mailbag is tight. Sinclair is on the mic.
Once again, it's on. You're still troubled in your home. Got your tripping, don't know right from wrong. Send your letters to the show so we can talk you through. Get the answers to your questions because we speak that truth. Sometimes you doubt yourself, lost your health. Faith is on the fence, but you believe that Jesus knows your wealth. Keep it moving, spirit flowing, because we're here to provide someone to lean on when you're falling. Wednesday, 8 and 9, and it's on.
Once again, it's on. You're listening to the only morning show at night, people, because everything is about you all this afternoon. It ain't even about me. We just gonna vibe, and we're gonna talk about, man, we got a crazy letter tonight. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about a bunch of different things, but I want to thank all of you all who continue to send your mailbag questions and comments to sinclairtalk@outlook.com. I'm going to continue to address as many of these things. Each night I'm on the air to reach you, the valued listener. The Sinclair Show is only possible because all of you all been rocking with me for years now. For years. Not months, not weeks, not days, not hours, but years, people. That's how long y'all been in the game. And so we doing what we do. Let's see who all out here in important land. We're going to start. Our first person on tonight is Gwendolyn Lady Elegance Pritchard. She's telling y'all good evening from Huntsville, Alabama. That's called the Rocket City for y'all that don't know. Then there is Nikki Carter, the arch nemesis herself. Hopefully she on a good behavior tonight. Jay Dizzle, what's up, Jay Dizzle? Glad that you in the house. She said I'm the nemesis. Hey, ain't no problem with that. No problem. Oh, we already got the music. People, look at who we got. Leetta Cole. Glad to see you out there. She said, loving it red. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Let me see who else we got. Big Rod. Rod Jenkins in the house. He said, good evening. He all the way from Ontario, California. Let me see what else is out here. Jay Dizzle saying good evening to the whole show. Ain't nothing wrong with that. There's my girl, Annie Moore. How you doing, Annie Moore? Glad to see you. What we got here? Taya Matthews. What's up, girl? Annie Moore said, I'm wearing that hat. Hey, I do my best, you know. You can't be afraid to be yourself. Let your energy shine. Let it be what it is. That's right there. Detective Pamela Black, I am glad to see you. See who else is out here popping off. James Key, what's going on? Andy Moore out here speaking to Jay Dizzle. Everybody, see, that's what I like to see, folks communicating across the globe. Y'all ain't got to wait for me. Y'all be with each other every week on the show. Just go ahead and start speaking to each other. Kiki Matthews said, hello, y'all. That right there. James said that hat is fire. Good looking out, big dog. Good looking out for all of y'all out here in the game with me. Man, where's my mama at? Somebody better find out where my mama is. Mama had, look at y'all. Mama might be asleep. Mama had to go to physical therapy today. And y'all know anybody that ever went to physical therapy, you get in there, they get to working you out. So mama might be curled up on the couch, sleep. She might be in her favorite recliner, napping away. So somebody reach out to mama and let's see what's going on. Make sure all is well at mama's house. Let me tell y'all something. First and foremost, again, sometimes we fail to say it, you know, to people, but I just want to make sure that y'all understand how much I appreciate y'all, because I know for a fact y'all don't have to be here. Some people call this prime time, 8 o'clock at night. That's the prime time hours. Jay Dizzle said, what you doing in the Inland Empire, my brother? Hey, you know how it go, man. Sometimes you got to make it happen. But yeah, so I just want to make sure that I don't go too many days without thanking y'all for rolling with the show. Uh-oh, y'all. There go my mama. Hey, mama. Mama, I just told the people you might have been sleeping on the show since you had to go to physical therapy today. And it kind of working your joints out or whatever. But however it is, it is. And I just want to let y'all know that, much love, that is appreciated, that y'all be joining the show, that it's all good. I don't know what Mimi Mims is. Mimi Mims probably somewhere he hiding now too. Oh, matter of fact, I'm gonna talk about Mimi Mims. Hey, look here. The young lad Samaje had a brand new baby. So, he out there playing Father of the Hour award. It's just a lot of stuff going on. And I just want y'all to understand that there's a lot of things that the people around you have going on. And sometimes you really don't understand what somebody's going through. So take a few seconds every day just to either check on somebody or to say a kind word to somebody. I work at a college, right? And, I got so now. Oh, Cassandra, what's going on, girl? Glad that the legal beagle is there. That's for sure. Oh, Big Rod said he TDY out to March Air Base. Okay, good job. Ain't nothing like that TDY pay. But anyway, let me tell y'all, and this is not me looking for any type of pat on the back. I just want you all to process. Y'all, there go your homie, Mini Mims, the Mimster, Mr. AKA I'll snatch your snacks out the refrigerator at your job, himself, the Mimster. But yeah, so I just wanna say something right quick. So every morning now, I try to get these 2 or 3 miles in. The walkathon is still walking. So, I'm appreciative of all of you all who keep hitting me up, that's out there walking with me, that's sending your numbers, sending your little videos and all these other things. I appreciate that. And yes, let me say this, because I'd be remiss if I didn't. Oh, many Mims been out there hitting them steps with a brother, and I can't do nothing but show him much love and respect, because there have been some days when I've been like, man, I'm not walking one more step. And many Mims will call and be like, hey, you ready to get those steps out? Well, if it isn't Loretta Battle. Haven't seen you in a while, Loretta. Glad to see you on the show. Let me see who else we got out here. Jay Dizzle said, I thought so. They have a comedy club out there. Now, hold on, y'all better get up off the line. Y'all just having a whole show to y'allself. April Brown, glad to see you. She telling me some, hey, y'all. But yeah, so as I walk in the morning, normally it's not many people at the job when I get there, because again, I try to get there early and get my steps in. But the maintenance crew be there. And there is this brother, and I ain't even gonna put his name out there because he ain't gave me permission. But this brother is out there with a positive attitude every single day. I'm talking about, if he see me at 6 o'clock in the morning, between 6 and 6:10, I'm normally walking my little 2 to 3 miles in the morning. Some of y'all check the videos out and I'll be showing y'all that I'm really doing it. But I see this brother when nobody's around doing his job with the utmost diligence. And, so I done made it a habit that when I see him in the mornings, I make sure that I go speak to him. I make sure that I say a kind word to him. Why? Because it ain't always what somebody do in your face. Sometimes it's what do people do when you ain't around. And that man be out there on his job when nobody's around, still doing it with honor and respect. It don't matter what the job is. He out there on it. And he always got a kind word. So I'm urging you all to get to work early in the morning. You ought to be walking around. Sometimes y'all pass your maintenance staff or your housekeeping staff or your janitorial staff. Sometimes y'all pass them and you won't even speak. Sometimes y'all pass them and you act like you too good to acknowledge them. Sometimes you act like that's some work that's just beneath you and you just keep it moving like they're invisible. But I'm telling you, if it wasn't for the work that they doing, imagine what your day would look like. Imagine what your buildings would look like. Imagine what your lawn would look like. Imagine all of the things that you take for granted that they do. And when you let that sprinkle on your spirit, it should make you want to holler at somebody and just say a kind word to them. What Ty talking? Ty said, David said, thank you for taking those steps for him because he can't do it yet. Hey, no problem. I'm telling y'all don't even know. Sometimes you got to find inspiration in areas that you didn't suspect. And we started this walking thing almost 100 days ago now. Started off as 21-day challenge, went to 40-day challenge. I think it hit the 40-day challenge, and I don't. It was folks at my church. They was like, "Nah, keep it going." You know, Minnie Mills was like, "Keep it going." There was a bunch of people. Loretta was like, Leetta was like, "Keep it going." There was a lot of people that was saying. April was saying, "Keep it going," and so we pushed it from 40 to 60 days. And then once we hit the 60-day mark, we decided we was going to keep pushing a little bit further. And we just turned it into something that we do every day. And I don't want you to feel bad if you can't. As y'all hear me say every morning, I don't care what your goal is. If you just starting off and your goal is a half a mile, do your half a mile. If you haven't been able to walk at all, and all of a sudden now you can walk 100 steps, make them 100 steps your goal. This is not about me doing what the next person doing or any of you all doing numerically what I'm doing. It's about how can we make this journey a little bit stronger and give some of you all the level of encouragement that'll make you be your best, whatever your best is. Let me see what Nikki said. I want to walk too. Well, Nikki Carter, let me ask you, have you been walking? And if you haven't, what's stopping you? Go ahead and drop them jewels of knowledge. What would prevent you from doing it? Because I can tell you all, those who've been rocking with me for the last, nearly 100 days, y'all done seen me walk in the heat. Mims can testify to that. Y'all have seen me do videos with me walking when it's pouring down raining. Y'all have seen me do videos with me walking when I'm tired, because I had to realize that this was always about me. Nikki Carter said, it's too hot. Nikki Carter, I'm not saying that it's not too hot for you, but get up a little earlier or walk a little later when the sun go down or before the sun come up. Get your little space in and let that be what it is. All right? That's real talk. I'm not putting you down because you haven't made the choice yet. I'm just saying if I can do it, you all can do it. Many of you have asked me, how has it benefited me? Many of you have commented on the significant physical appearance change or whatever. Yes. Hold on. Mimi Mills said Nikki Carter walk in the shade. And let me say this. I've been very, very blessed. Very blessed. There was a time when I had some medical concerns and challenges. And I had to make my decision of whether or not I would try it, commit to it, or whatever. And I had to pray about it, because it's easy for us to do it 1 day or 3 days or 5 days. It's a whole different story to do it every day for almost 100 days, not taking 1 day off. But I'm going to tell you how it worked out for me. And again, this does not mean it's going to work that way for you all. But because I'm not, hold on, Nikki Carter talking about she need 69 to 72 degree weather. Okay, well, they probably get that temperature about 6 or 7 at night, or it's certainly that temperature about 6 in the morning. So go on, raise up. But I say this to you all in with every level of sincerity. And what I'm about to share with you is not anything great I did. The only thing it was I prayed about it, and God gave me the commitment to keep taking that one step, 1 day, 1 step, another step. And then I started seeing all of you out there doing it, because there was a whole lot of days where I said, hey, I'm quitting. I'm not rocking with this. I'm tired. My feet hurt. My back hurt. But all of that came nearly 70 pounds ago. Yes, and so, no, I eat the same foods that I want to eat. I do whatever I got to do. I'm not on a diet. but I'm walking. You know, I did take medication to make me feel full. Didn't have any surgery. This was all about walking. Which started off at 1 mile, went to 2 miles. Now it's a minimum of 3.5 miles every day. There are days when some of you all have seen me walk 6 miles. Um, I ain't doing that no more for a while. But I'm saying these things to you all that whatever you can do that will improve your health, however the struggle feels in the beginning, if you can commit to it for 21 days, I promise you, you can commit to it for 40. It has not been an easy journey, but it hasn't been as hard as I thought. And the only way that was possible was because I had strong support in my circle of steppers, if you will, that was always encouraging, that never let me believe that quitting was an option. And so now I walk for you all. Now, some of you who can't walk, I take them steps for you. That's the reason why I don't quit on the weekends. I tell everybody, you should give your body a rest. But I walk for you all, and you all keep me motivated. That's enough about that. I wanted to answer the questions that's been tingering out there in the realm, because the first thing that happens is people will be like, oh man, he must be sickly. Okay, that's the first thing. James said, Nikki Carter, trust me, Nikki, if you can walk, then walk. Absolutely. And he said, I got my inspiration from you, and I'm at the point where I enjoy it. That's my me time. I can tell a difference. You know what? And I appreciate that, Annie Moore. The truth of the matter is, me and Annie Moore go to the same church, and I've seen her, and there is a physical change in her as well. Again, people, I don't know if it's greater that you have a mental change, a physical change, or that they all go together. I've seen a lot of people who had some physical challenges, and I have not asked permission to share their story, but I will ask over the next few days. Some people had struggles with health and heart. Some people had struggles with weight. Some people had struggles with depression. Some people had struggles with the physical ailments of their legs and their back and all different things. And they share these things with me. And I've seen people who struggled to simply walk straight, who have made the determination that there is an event in my life and I am going to put one leg in front of the other, one foot in front of the other, and they're making miraculous changes. But we all need motivation. That's why it's good to fellowship. All right. Anyway, so let's just get on and move on so we can talk about tonight's events. We got one crazy letter, and I'm gonna read it to you all. And for those of you who sent me something, I know Xavier sent me a couple of things he wanted to talk about. I don't even know if he's listening tonight, but let me say something. Xavier be having some deep things he want to talk about, and I'd be like, "Whoo, I ain't even prepared. I got to take me a few days and do my due diligence, because some of y'all probably ain't gonna be all that cool with the topics of conversation that he be popping up with." But there's a lot of people that send me things. If yours doesn't make the show on a particular night, trust and believe that it will make the show. I just try to fit it in and make sure that we have enough time to really give some of these things the attention that they deserve. All right. So here's the letter. It says, Dear Sinclair, I've been going through a lot this summer, and it finally came to a head this weekend when my friend went with me to a family function. I saw her talking a little longer to my man than what she should have been, in my opinion. I admit that I may have had a few too many drinks, but I decided to confront them, which turned out to be a bad idea. I told them for weeks I felt that she was out of bounds in her talking to and laughing with my man, and that he was flirting with her, in my opinion, trying to set something up. At first, they attempted to play it off, but I forced the issue. My mother was in agreement and told me in front of my friend that she ain't never liked me hanging out with her and that my friend was just jealous of me. She then goes on to say that my man was a cheater and that she wished for years that I had kept seeing my ex. The barbecue became so uncomfortable that some people began to leave and others was taking sides in this disagreement. After about 40 minutes and a bunch of curse words and tequila, my first cousin pulled me to the side and told me I was making a fool out of myself and that for the last month, my BFF, her best friend, and my man had been planning a birthday party for me, which is July the 21st. That the reason that the two of them had been so closely working together is because they had agreed to split the full cost of the party. Sinclair, I don't know what to do because I said so many things while I was drunk, and my mom said so many things that I know there's nothing I can do to erase the hurt and embarrassment that I caused at this event. I haven't spoke to my friend since this 4th of July party, and my man has all but shut down on me. My mom is telling me to move on, but I feel like I don't know how to resolve this mess. To top it off, I don't know if I'm still having a birthday party because no one is speaking to me. Sinclair, how can I fix this? Or should I fix it? Signed, Shell. First of all, let me begin by saying this, Shell. I appreciate your candor in sending me this letter. I appreciate the fact that you're asking me to try to help you fix this. And as a counselor, let me say that generally speaking, most situations, if this is an isolated incident, are fixable. But let me say this to you. In fairness to how I feel about it, I hope that the conversation and dialogue that we have tonight will cause you, Vanessa Moore, how you doing? Glad that she's on. Ty said this is a whole mess. Now, so Shell, let me say this first and foremost. Okay, hold on. Matter of fact, before I dive in, let's see what Nikki Carter said. Nikki Carter said, keep it simple, apologize to both of them, but remember, they may not be ready to accept your apology. Nikki Carter, you know what? Surprisingly, that's some absolutely good advice. Ty Matthews, absolutely. Okay. I am totally surprised that Nikki Carter, the head of the Me Too movement, is speaking with such eloquence in the face of this. Because I'm not going to take that cute perspective. Shell, I mean you no disrespect tonight, but you deserve to hear the truth so you don't make this mistake again down the road. First of all, Shell, you indicated that you had felt some energy, you felt something wasn't right for a few weeks. But the person you call your best friend, you never said anything to her. You never confronted or talked to your man in private. You waited until you got the tequila in your system. You waited till you got that liquid courage and you had your mama backing you up on the foolery. And then you decided you was going to make this scene at the 4th of July party, forcing everybody to have to deal with the ignorance in your head. And now you're trying to figure out, how can I make it right? Well, what exactly do you want to make right? Do you want to make it right in terms of you don't want to seem like the ignorant bad guy, or you want to make it right because something in your now sober mind has you understanding that what you did was both uncalled for, wrong, made a fool out of yourself and everybody else? What do you really want to see happen? Now, I'm going to fast forward and come back because I got a problem with what you said at the end of this ignorant letter. You said, to top it all off, I don't know if I'm still having a birthday party because no one is speaking to me. You disrespected publicly the two people who had gotten together and were going to compensate the whole party out of their pocket for you, and you want me to believe that you're really moved emotionally to fix something, then you should have left that line off about, to top it off, I don't know if I'm still having a birthday party. I don't find you to be emotionally sincere at all, because if all I was concerned about was that I wronged some people that I used to be close with, then there's no way I would be concerned or thinking about or typing or writing anything about you don't know if you still having a birthday party. Let me see what Ty Matthews said. Ty said the fact that she is thinking that she could possibly still be having a birthday party sounds very self-centered and selfish on her behalf. The only thing she needs to be concerned about is their forgiveness of her very bad handling of the situation. I concur. You know what? You all are surprising even me tonight. Think about it, people. Before we dissect the foolery that is the internal workings of what she did that day, this fool is sitting around talking about, to top it off, I don't know if I'm still having a birthday party. Well, Shell, the reality of it is, I would ask you, if you were calling into the show right now, do you think you deserve one from those two? You had people in your inner circle who felt uncomfortable at the 4th of July party, so they walked off because of how ignorant you acted. And I know some of you will say it was the tequila. Some of you love to blame the alcohol. They tell me that when a person is drunk and or high, they are simply the emboldened truth of themselves. See, y'all always want to put something in a space by which you give someone absolution for ignorance, absolution for attitude, absolution for their actions, instead of holding them accountable. Shell, you don't deserve to have those two in your life, in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying that they would be wrong if they forgave you. If they want to forgive you, if they're listening to the Sinclair Show, and Shell, if you want to think of something, text both of them and tell them to dial into the Sinclair Show, to go on to YouTube or Facebook and check out the show so they can hear what I'm saying tonight. Because for me, you weren't about a party. For me, you want to explain that my consumption of tequila played a role in my actions. Was your ignorant mama drinking tequila too? See, this is the problem, people. When you have a circle of influencers who won't stop you from doing ignorant things to come back on you. You see, Vanessa said, wow. I don't know what the wow is for. But my conversation to you all, Joe Public, if you will, is why is it that, hold on for a second. Let me answer two of these. Cassandra said, my opinion to this scenario is, yes, she acted a fool and her mother as well. And yes, her thinking about whether she is having a birthday party is selfish. However, there still may be some truth to her original concerns about her man and her best friend. Well, Cassandra, let me say this to you. And you know, you and I tend to agree on a lot of things. I'm not rocking with you on this tonight because while you say there may still be, we don't have any facts and evidence of this. We don't have anything to indicate it. Matter of fact, it was her own cousin, her own female cousin that told her you out of bounds because everybody but you knew that they were planning a party. So if you, in the absence of having something substantial that you can put down and say, oh, this is the reason why I believe it, especially when you now know that for nearly a month they've been planning a party, I can't allow you to throw that out there as a lifeline to Shell because Shell didn't have any valid thing to believe that they were doing anything. Your insecurity can't be the reason why you get to drink you a few shots of tequila and talk reckless to people who you say are your loved ones. Let me see what Vanessa said. Why the name calling? I call the names, I call it as I see it. And if it emotionally hurts your feelings, then you are welcome to either stay on the show or leave the show. But I have been on this show for 6 or 7 years. I've seen a lot of times when women don't have a problem in the world calling names when it's a deadbeat dude. So do me a favor, get you a glass of water, sit back, relax, watch the show. If you like it, stay on. If you don't, you can leave or you can give me your comments. But what she did was ignorant. And so now she's writing to try to figure out how to salvage a birthday party. She ain't really trying to salvage a friendship. Because the truth of the matter is, the beginning point to her attempting to salvage anything would have been for her to be just as public and aggressive with her apology at the July 4th event as she was when she and her mama was out there acting an absolute fool. Just like I was about to say, in terms of y'all inner circles, here's the problem with these circles that y'all love to have so much of. As she indicated, her mom was very comfortable talking about her female best friend and a man, telling her what she wished from the past and all, and then what she thought about this person. But she never indicated one time that when she was taking multiple drinks of tequila, that her mama ever said one time, "You're having too many drinks." See, some of y'all love y'all inner circles because your inner circles ride with you on every illicit, ignorant act that you do. Why didn't she say, "Hey, you know what? My mama was telling me the whole afternoon, stop drinking them shots." That right there. Look at my girl, Nikki said, "I agree with you on the last point." Thank you, Nikki. Matter of fact, she said on all points. See, because the reality of it is that if you in my inner circle, let me use, for example, Jay Dizzle. If I call Jay Dizzle and I'm on one about some foolery, the first thing Jay Dizzle says to me is, "Hey, yo, bruh, you might be out of pocket a little bit. Let's talk about it." He don't run to my aid and defend ignorance just because it's my thought of the moment. Minnie Mims said, "Man, she cut off 100%. She can party with her mom." You go, Big Mims. And again, I don't want y'all to think that I'm insensitive to it, but let's look at what we're talking about. She created this space by which she says she felt something, but wasn't woman enough to ask any questions. Hold on for a second. Let me see what. Let me give Nikki Carter a little more airtime. She said, "But do you think? But do you? I don't know what you're trying to say. But do you don't think the BFF, the boyfriend, could have handled himself a little differently?" Well, Nikki Carter, let me be fair. Based on what she wrote, she said they were off to the side having dialogue and smiling. She took the smile as being flirting. If all you said was they were talking to each other and smiling, I can't say that he did anything wrong because she hasn't indicated that there is something that she actually saw him doing other than standing off to the side with somebody whom she now knows is what knew then was her best friend that they've been planning for a month for her July the 21st birthday party. You said being in the corner giggling with the BFF. All right. Let me say this, Nikki Carter. I can certainly see how if someone has trust issues and they see you over in the corner talking with a man and you smiling and he's smiling, I can see how somebody who has emotional trust issues might assume something. But you saying that this was your best friend. This wasn't some random chick. You saying that was your man. You saying you felt something over a few week period. Why didn't you ever go to them in private? What made you feel that let me show out in public? Taya said no smiling at the fact that she was going to love it. Taya saying there could be a host of reasons why the smiling was taking place. See, you had an opportunity to ask those questions in private and not make a fool out of yourself. But you got that firewater in your system and you made the determination that, you know what, now that I feel like, hold on. Cassandra said, I believe there is more to this story. Well, Cassandra, let me ask you a question. Do you believe that the author herself is telling the truth about her perception? She didn't add any more to the story. So why is it that even when she is saying, I thought this, but I found out I was wrong because my own first cousin, who was a female, told me they've been calling everybody with this plan. Why are you so quick to want to say that you believe there's more to it? Tell us, Cassandra, what do you believe is the more there? If not even the person who made a fool out of herself has indicated that there was anything else to it, why are you so certain that there is? Nikki Carter says she agrees. There go my armor bearer, Esther Shepard, say, hey, Dr. Sinclair, what's going on, girl? Glad to see you on tonight. Let me see what Cassandra is saying. Cassandra said, it's odd that she just decided to act the fool at this event. Cassandra, listen here. I can agree that it may have been outside her character. These are facts because I don't know how she normally acts, but she attempted to give herself cover by saying she had had few too many drinks of tequila. So to answer your question, when you say it's odd that she just decided to act the fool at this event, remember, she said, I've been feeling some kind of way for a few weeks about their interaction. And I saw them talking over to the side. They was smiling and talking to each other. And I decided I'm going to check this situation right here. So, Cassandra, I don't believe that it's anything that is outside of the normal for a person who is inebriated. When you get that firewater in your system, you suddenly believe that you can do anything. Taya says she had been feeling suspect for a couple of weeks. Alcohol and insecurity is a bad combination. I agree. I totally agree. And see, the thing that I want you guys to do is let's not assume any more than with the facts that we were given by the individual who wrote this. Now, let's keep talking. First of all, when you decided, Shell, that you were going to confront them, for what reason did you believe that it was the right thing to do it out in the middle of everybody? Even at that event, even at the 4th of July party, and you all tell me if this is a reasonable thing, even if you wanted to handle it there, couldn't you have walked over to whatever side they were talking on and say, hey, I got something to ask you guys? You made such a spectacle of yourself that even people who didn't have anything to do with the foolishness decided they were uncomfortable with the way you were acting and began to leave the party. That's why I can't give you no absolution on this. You wanted to make a scene. You plotted to make this scene. Every sip of that tequila that you took, as you kept looking over there, you were getting more and more emboldened. And I believe that your mother was in your ear. I believe you ran it past her first. I believe she co-signed that foolishness. Leetta said maybe it started that way. What started that way, Leetta? I want to be clear before I assume anything. Think about it. You're drinking tequila. You're feeling insecure. you're 38 hot. Your mama's in your ear telling you that what you thinking is right. And if she was you, she'll handle it like this. Bad combination. But you don't get absolution because you was drunk. You don't get absolution because your mama was ignorant. You don't get any of that. Okay. Yeah, it says the description that I just posed. Absolutely, absolutely. So the thing for me is this. Let me see what Annie Moore said. Seasoned veteran herself says maybe if she had not had that boost juice in her, she wouldn't have said a word. She said she didn't have the courage, and she didn't, and she should have left her mama dearest out of it. Absolutely. I agree. Vieta says she pulled them to the side and things blew up. Now that could have happened, or she may not. Even Nikki Carter said her mama made it worse. Yeah, her mama made it worse. Because not only now was she not handling her own business, but old mommy dearest was back there boosting it up. Everybody started leaving. People are uncomfortable. And now, Shell, let me say this to you. Now, both you, or certainly you and your mom, have created a space that is very, very difficult to backpedal from, because now it's not just about, hold on for a second, let me see what James keeps saying. James said maybe he and her mama both drama, and that's why nobody wants to deal with them after this. I think he was saying maybe she and her mama both are drama, and that's why nobody wants, possibly. Nikki Carter said, whose cookout was it? According to this, it was a family cookout that she took her best friend with her too. So it was a family cookout. So think about this, people, and Shell, especially you. You created a space by which, or you and your mother created a space by which it is very, very difficult for you to backpedal. Not your ratchet mama. Your ratchet mama ain't got nowhere to backpedal. She ain't lose nothing. You done lost a best friend and probably a man behind your mama's ignorance and your ignorance. I ain't giving you no absolution. But if it had just been about your insecurities, you probably could have walked that back. I've seen people who are able to recover from a bunch of ignorance with public apologies and with time. Very few times in counseling have I seen a person able to recover. Let me see what Nikki Carter talking about. Not only should she apologize to her best friend, her boyfriend and her best friend, but the other family members as well. I agree with that. Nikki Carter, you are absolutely right. And again, because we don't know whether this is a one-time issue or not, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and say maybe this was a one-time issue, okay? I don't know that I believe it, but I got to get her the benefit of the doubt. Mimi Mims said tequila is always a troublemaker. Yeah, Mims, but it only brought out what she was thinking. And now let me go back to this. The reason why this is a situation that is virtually impossible to walk itself back from, because this was no longer just about your suspicions. The moment that your ratchet mother got involved in it, the moment that she began not only to co-sign, but to tell the public, to tell all your friends and family what she had been thinking this entire time, it made it so you couldn't just apologize for what you did. James said tequila is that push. Absolutely. Minnie Man said no party for the birthday girl. Hey, you partying by yourself this year, or maybe you'll party with your mama. But again, Shell, to be honest with you, I feel sorry for you. I feel a level of empathy for you, even though your actions warrant whatever you wind up receiving for it. I believe you could have recovered from just the incident that you sparked. But the moment that your ratchet mother began to shout out that she never liked you hanging out with your best friend, to say that she didn't like your boyfriend, fiance, whatever he was, and that you should have kept dealing with your ex. She then was telling conversations that you all had in private that had nothing to do with the 4th of July fiasco or your insecurity about them talking to each other. What your mama did was probably what she had plotted and planned for so long. And so I can give you this advice, and I do not know that it will work, but I would start off by doing this. I would start off by using the public platform that is social media, and I would apologize. And I would apologize without the expectation of it being accepted. I would apologize and let it be known that, hey, I understand you guys may not be interested in communicating with me right now, but I do understand the errors of what I've done, and I hope that you can forgive me. I'll pray that you will forgive me, but if not, I'm going to give you whatever time is necessary for you to begin to heal from what I did. That is the beginning of a recovery process for you, Shell. Now, it will take a strong woman to publicly apologize and do it in a manner by which the public also knows why you're apologizing. As it relates to your future endeavors, I would say that you need to look at your circle of friends, your acquaintances, even if those circles include family members. And you need to ask yourself, whether it is now, in the past, or in your future, how much have you lost surrounding yourselves with yes men? How much have you lost? This time it may wind up being a best friend. And best friends is hard to come by, because when somebody earns the title of best friend, generally it means that they have stuck with you through thick and thin. Generally it means that they know some of your secrets. A best friend, generally you have sat and cried tears with. Generally a best friend is somebody that you done walked on the edge with. If you lost that because of tequila and your ratchet mama, examine your inner circles. Let me see what Annie Moore is saying. Annie Moore said, if I was the best friend and boyfriend, I would let her stew in the mess she made before I would forgive her. Okay, that's fundamentally sound. Vanessa gave an upside down smiley face. I don't really know what that means. But I will say this, people. It is very, very difficult for us to accept when we've gone too far. I don't know if Shell is sincere. Again, initially, I believe that she was. Here's the reason why I believe that she was remorseful. She said, Sinclair, I don't know what to do because I said so many things while I was drunk, and my mom said so many things that I know there is nothing I can do to erase the hurt and embarrassment I caused at this event. That led me to believe that Shell had legitimate remorse. And I felt empathy for her. Until the next line is, but to top it off, I don't know if I'm still having a birthday party. So, Shell, I'll say this. Put yourself out there emotionally and apologize publicly. And once you apologize, to be honest with you, Shell, no matter how ignorant the event that you did was, once you apologize, God will forgive you. Once you ask that individual for forgiveness, it really doesn't matter then if they do forgive you or not, because the weight of the activity and event then shifts to them. All you need to do in earnest is ask for forgiveness. Some of y'all can't ask for forgiveness because you're afraid that if I publicly ask for forgiveness in the same ratchet manner for which I've been acting, that the folks in my inner circle are going to say, oh, I can't believe you did that. You said this and you said that. To be honest with you, Shell, you got to ask yourself, do I want my BFF back? Or are you willing to chalk it up as an L and keep it pushing? See, because again, you're not held accountable for them accepting your apology. You are responsible for the apology to those individuals whom you wronged. And that's from a spiritual perspective. Yvonne Ross, what's going on? She said, hey, Dr. Sinclair and everyone. And again, make sure that you navigate these waters carefully. And I know that there are some of you who empathize with Shell because some of you have probably found yourself in a similar situation. Again, Shell is a human being who simply made a mistake. It was a mistake that emotionally cost other people through embarrassment and ignorance. As Mimi Mim said, if you done made folks leave the 4th of July party, you owe them folks an apology too. But this is bigger than this one event. That's why I go back and I say, you need to check your inner circle. You need folks in your inner circle that's willing to check you. You need some people close enough to you where they not your hype man or they not your yes man. You shouldn't want to just have people around you that's patting you on the back. Somebody, anybody with a level head and a level heart got to be able to tell you when you do wrong. Because how else would you know it? How else would you ever recognize something happened that day to which you figured out that you was wrong? And if you didn't, you wouldn't have written it. That's the real question. Something you still got good in you. You're not a bad person. I know you got good in you because you wrote the letter asking how do I fix it, even if all of it wasn't sincere. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. But you have, in order to change your outcomes, sometimes you got to change a lot more than just an apology can. Sometimes you have to look in your circle and say, this week, you, and you, y'all ain't in my circle no more. Yeah, they probably gonna turn on you because you know exactly how people do. People turn on you when you kick them out their circle. Everything you done said about your BFF, everything you said about your man, everything you ever said about anything to whether it's your mama or the people in your circle, they gonna probably repeat it. But they probably the type of people that been repeating your business anyway. So make sure that you weigh what the cost of something is before you do it. This was a costly mistake. And it cost you more than 4th of July, friends. It cost you more than the potential birthday party. You lost your dignity that day. You didn't have a moral compass that day. You didn't have the ability to self-regulate to manage your own arrogance and foolishness. And that's always a dangerous position to be in. Because when you can't pull your own card and say, hey, woo, kind of went too far. And nobody in your circle is willing to say, whoo, you went too far. And you're getting power boosted up by the ratchetness that is your mother. Now look at what you got. Now look at what you have. And let this be a lesson to all of you out there. Shell, again, I've given you my advice. I do think you should pray about it. I do think you should apologize publicly because you acted the fool publicly. I do think that you should, when you ask for their forgiveness, understand that they don't have to give it to you right then. All these things are true. But I think you will recover emotionally if you do that. All right. Nikki Carter said that mom should have been the voice of reason. Well, apparently mom wasn't. You know what they say about them apples and them trees. I'm just saying. But I do want you guys to now, Shell, I'm through with you on this, and I want to talk to you guys in the last few seconds that we have of the show. Shell went through something. And again, Shell ain't a bad person. Shell just had to deal with the consequence of her actions. Many of you have done things that you know were not as favorable. Many of you have had things in your life that have occurred that you failed to go back and ask for forgiveness for. The reality of it is both personally, spiritually, you can't heal until you ask for forgiveness when you wronged somebody or some people. And you have to ask in earnest. People know when you just saying something because somebody put you up to it. And I would submit to you, until you're ready to apologize in earnest, don't do it. Don't do it because Jay Dizzle said, man, you need to apologize. And then you go say it with some foolery on you and with the energy that is, well, look, I just want to apologize because I know I probably shouldn't have did this. That ain't a true apology. Pray about it until your spirit feels heavy enough that you could go to a person and say to them, you know what? When I look back over this, I was 100% wrong. You all need to check your circles. Ask yourself, do you have a Jay Dizzle in your circle? Do you have somebody in your circle that'll say to you, looking you dead in your eye, right, wrong, or indifferent, yo, bruh, you was out there on this one? Do you have somebody that'll pull your coattail before you get too far? Because if the only people you can go to are people who think just as ignorant as you do when you own tequila, people that probably waited around for you to willfully put yourself in a messed up situation that they can help you not recover from, you're going to make a lot more mistakes than what you made on the 4th of July barbecue. But anyway, people, look, it's time to go. I appreciate y'all participating. I thank all of you all for coming in tonight and giving your opinions. And no matter how rough I am on you all about your opinions, the fact of the matter is your opinion matters. It is important. Every comment that you guys made was an important comment because it shows the world, it shows the public. We are in 13 different countries. It tells people that it's okay for you to think this way, but let's talk it out. Let's walk it out with these steps. Let's talk it out with these issues and surround yourselves. Get you some people that you can fellowship with and always keep one or two in the mix that'll tell you, hey, look, I don't know if I'm rocking with that, all right? And if you are that person in the group, keep your chest strong and your back wide. Make sure that you do the right thing just because it's the right thing. And I'm out, people.
About that time, baby. Oh, yeah. Here we go.
The Sinclair Show is on.
And it's on.
Run it if your friends come on.